Right, okay, here we go. This is the problem I'm having currently. There's my generator. As you can see, it's two 554s in there. It's not normally quite that high. To be honest, the power output is never a problem. I think we get something along the lines of 50 odd, 58 watts or something like that. It doesn't get anywhere near that, so I've just chucked a couple of engines in it now for shits and giggles almost, just to get it done. Okay, so we've got the generator. As you can see, the line runs through, comes up to the switch. The switch quite simply is so that if we leave the house for any period of time, we can switch the tower off, so that obviously there's no activation. Any Zeds that are around aren't drawn straight to the tower, and then they're going to knock it down. The whole point obviously of the tower is though that if a Zed does come along, we can deal with them from the tower rather than from them smashing our base to pieces. I'm actually just using a house at the moment. It's not really our base. This is just a single player creative mode to illustrate the problem. So anyway, we'll have that on. Okay, so as we can see, currently it runs just straight power, comes straight out to a relay, across the road to a second relay, and across the road again to a second relay, or third relay, sorry, up the hill, and as you can hear, there goes the alarms. And we've got a fourth relay, up to a fifth relay, and then we're going from relay here to the first motion sensor, which is set as 10 seconds. I've left it set as just these two for now because it doesn't matter, those are not the problem. Okay, so then we're going from here in series, running from this relay, from this motion sensor here, ignoring all the relays, to this one here. And as you can see again, this is in series. The other one isn't activated. This one is currently working as it should. So then we're going out of this one again. As you can hear, it's gone off on its own. To this one, again wired in series. You can just about make out the wires there. And if I move into the site, again activated. That one's not activated. This one is. So series works, and you can see the lights on there. Speakers are all up there. Okay. Again, from this one in series again to this one. Okay, this is the fourth in line. This one again set exactly the same way as the others. I can move into it. It's activated, no problem. This then runs from here to up to here. This is the first one in line. Then it runs from this one to this one to the third one, to the fourth one, still in series. This one then runs down power now to the light. As you can see, it comes out of that light to this light, in series still. This one to this one, finally to this one. I can activate any one of these without any problems at all. If I activate this one, it's the last one in the loop. So if I come out of this vision, give it 10 seconds, I could go then to this one over here, which as you know is not, this is the second one in the loop. That one's gone off now, so I can now activate this one. Lights and sirens. Lights and sirens are on all the way around, so that's not a problem. This is all working as it should. This is exactly how I would have had to set up any time before. The tower is very similar. Even the lights and sirens, the way they're set up is very similar. The motion sensors, all of it was wired in series exactly as you see it now. So again, we've got the power just running to here. Now the problem is, when I want to now add, just wait for that thing to be quiet, when I want to add the motion sensors to the house, I've got one on this side here, set up again exactly the same way as the ones on the tower, and I have another one this side, exactly the same way as it was set up before. And okay, what we've got now is the relay problem that I'm having. Now as you can see, this is all running straight through relays already, so power on its own is not a problem. However, if I just go in here, we need to disconnect that one. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take the power from the switch and we're going to send it up just outside the wall here to this relay. Now we're ignoring the tower at the moment. We're going to go from this relay to this motion sensor, which should now activate. Yes, it does. From this relay, we're now going back in series to this relay, through, as you see there, look, you can see the wiring, to this relay. We're moving across to this relay and to this relay. Now this one is going to be a problem. mostly because I've just disconnected the wire. There we go, from there back to there. Okay, yep, that's done. So again, exactly the same setup. The problem is that now that power isn't transferring at all from that first motion sensor the other side of the house to this one. As you can see, it doesn't activate. So the problem now is that the activation has not passed through the relays. It's passed through this motion sensor. The power's obviously passed through this relay to this motion sensor. It's not passing from here though any further than there. As you can see, that one's powered because it goes yellow. That one isn't because it stays grey. That power is not passing through as it should. Okay, so at the moment it's a motion sensor problem, but not necessarily, because even with that one being powered, it should still pass the power through, the same as the others do, because obviously we know over at the tower over there the power passes through motion sensors in series. You don't need to activate one for the next one in the series to activate. So they don't all need to be activated 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You can activate 2, 3, 4 or 5 at any time. And there's a Z. Goodbye Z. So anyway, now we've got the motion sensor over the other side of the house to the east. There is actually powered. None of the power is travelling through. So when we get to this one, no activation. When we go from this then all the way through to here, which obviously is now looping back because obviously we're not joining them at all. We're going back across here to here and down to this one. Oops. So that everything is now wired in series again, from the switch inside there up to here, across over here to this particular one via the relays at the top, then back again to this relay, and back down to here, as we saw before where we came out from the switch to this one, over to the tower. Now if I come over here, absolutely nothing. There's no power transferring. So the problem is, even with this one over here, this one still activates because this one's powered. The activation isn't coming through from here past this relay. Now it's either a problem with the relay, the sensor itself isn't passing power through to a relay and will only pass through to a second trigger, or there is no activation coming from here any further than this first relay. Now the activation is obviously what I need, and if I'm going to have a similar setup to this one over here, whereas I'm going to put all of my motion sensors in series all the way around the tower as this one is currently, then I would have to instead use a motion sensor all the way around the house. So if I get rid of that one and put a motion sensor there instead, I can now go from this motion sensor to here, and that one's powered. So the problem now is if I go there from here to here, as you can see the power isn't continuing through. So there is a problem either with the motion sensor not allowing the power through from, let's just deal with this Z. Keep still, let me shoot you. Either the motion sensor itself has got a problem where it's not accepting the power back through from the motion sensor, or even the relay might have a problem where it's not accepting the power through from the motion sensor, or the motion sensor can't actually send power to a non-trigger object. So at this point the only way to fix my current problem would be to transfer or change every single relay I'm using for motion sensors instead, so that the pass-through works. Whether that is a bug or whether that is a problem, you know, or it's even an intended problem if you like, remains to be seen. However, at this point you'd have to have I don't even know how many motion sensors just to resolve this, because even just from here, it's not really that far, that short distance, every single one of these would now need to be a motion sensor. that's not really something that's a viable option. You know, they're not easy to make, so you know, you're looking at a lot of materials just to do that. And you know, essentially the original idea would have been to bury these cables into a tunnel underground, so that you know, you couldn't have the Zeds come along and smash them. To do that and then put motion sensors all the way along seems kind of a pointless exercise, really, to be honest, because you'd have to make sure that the motion sensors weren't really activated. So anyway, there's the problem, and hopefully it's something that can be dealt with. And I've just completely missed him.